AMD came out swinging this upcoming generation of CPUs, but Intel's not down for the count. Far from it, actually. Thanks to a couple of leakers in China, we have not only a report of what to expect with Intel's 13900K, but a whole review at our fingertips. Not only that, but we also have leaks on a couple benchmarks involving the 13600K, 13500, and 13400. But let's shelve the lightweights for a moment while we're talking about Intel's heavy hitter. To start, the i9 13900K is going to make a massive jump in core counts from the previous gen 8 efficiency cores and 8 performance cores to a massive 16 efficiency cores and 8 performance cores. This will give us a whopping 24 cores and 32 threads. Not only that, but we're looking at a peak core clock of 5.8 GHz on 1 to 2 cores and a sustained core clock of 5.5 GHz on all 8 performance cores. Some leaks that are reporting it can boost as high as 6 GHz, 300 MHz higher than what AMD has shown us so far. Coupling this performance is a significant boost in combined cache, sitting now at a total of 68 MB for L2 and L3 cache. As AMD has shown with their X3D cache, this can make a significant difference in performance, and especially in gaming. But this beast must be fed, and feed it will. At a base level, the 13900K will consume 125 watts going up to 250 watts at a factory peak. But when you enable unlimited power mode, there has been a sustained peak of 350 watts. That's just absolutely insane. Over 100 watts more than 12900K. And what does this get for all the power packed into this chip? To start, a 6% uplift in instructions per clock. Not too impressive, but it also does lead to a 42% increase in multi-threaded performance and 12.5% boost in single-threaded performance. This isn't thanks to the bump in E-cores and clock speeds, which is cool and all, but what does this mean for gaming performance? Well, it's about a 10% increase according to the leak report. Not all that impressive, but what about the 13600K, 13500, and 13400? The lower SKU CPUs tend to be the biggest bang for the buck, so let's see what they're packing. For specs, the 13600K features 14 cores split with 6 performance cores and 8 efficiency cores, 5.2 GHz boost clock, and 44 MB of combined cache. The 13500 features 14 cores with 6 performance cores and 8 efficiency cores. Interesting that's the same as the 13600K, but what is different is the boost clock of 4.8 GHz and 35.5 MB of combined cache. And finally, the 13400 comes in with the 6 performance cores and 4 efficiency cores with a boost clock of 4.6 GHz, and combined cache totaling 29.5 MB. This seems like a pretty nice jump in numbers over the previous generation, but it really only leads to a max of 8 to 10% boost in performance. For mid and low performance, I honestly don't think this will be good enough to beat AMD. The red team has been making too many advancements that Intel simply hasn't been able to do. Between the new architectures and nodes over the years, AMD is in a prime position to overtake Intel here. But Intel may still squeak out the win in the high-end market. I mean, it's no secret that Intel will release just about anything to give them fractional performance edge over AMD. Just look at the 12900KF. That was a 100% knee-jerk reaction to AMD's 5800 X3D, taking the gaming crown from them, even if it was for a short time. And the jump in core count is the play Intel has chosen this time around to win the gaming crown. I mean, it's not a bad idea by any stretch. AMD has definitely used this in the past with great success, but AMD has also run into the same issue that Intel will be facing this upcoming generation: cooling. Bulldozer was that for AMD, a break in the established trend of core counts, but it was meant to cool. Raptor Lake may be Intel's bulldozer, allowing to break the core count trend AMD has established, but with the trade-off being a pain to cool. To be honest though, Intel doesn't seem to care. They just want to hold on to the title of best gaming CPU for as long as they can. If Intel does want to fix this, they're going to need to make some major changes, like finally moving on from the Skylake design. This is their 7th iteration of it, and the same amount of time, AMD has been able to develop 4 completely new architectures. I do understand the argument that the Lake CPU architecture of today doesn't have any resemblance of the past ones made back then, but history has also shown us that we only get big jumps in performance when a new architecture comes out. Plus, it helps with efficiency too. That is in the distant future though. In terms of the near future, check out this video about what AMD is going to be releasing later this year for the launch of the Ryzen 7000 series, and I'll see you next time.